What's going on, y'all? Movie Man Mikey here, and today we're going to be talking about Boy Kills World. In a future ruled by the evil Vanderkoy family, we follow a deaf-mute man who's trained for the better half of his life to take them down once and for all. So when I originally saw the trailer for this, I was kind of taken aback at first. We have an on-the-rise talent in Bill Skarsgård in the leading role, but he's not speaking the entire movie. Instead, his character is narrated by a voice that resembles an 80s Macho Man arcade-type character.
Step 1. Give myself an inner voice. I took the last one I remembered from this video game. Player 1 wins!
Okay, pretty silly, but the hyper-violence laced across the trailer definitely had me more pumped than not. Having finally seen the film now, it's with a heavy heart that I say I found Boy Kills World to be one of the year's biggest disappointments. Let's start off with the good though. Like I previously mentioned, Bill Skarsgård plays the lead you're rooting for here, and seeing as he's predominantly known for his villainous performances like Pennywise in the new It movies or Keanu's adversary in John Wick Chapter 4, it's nice to see him be able to stretch his acting abilities. I will admit though, one thing that did frustrate me was the fact that he was not the voice of the narrator, but I blame that more on myself for not doing the research before going into the movie as opposed to the movie itself. H. John Benjamin still for sure turns in an entertaining vocal performance, but I was definitely bummed out that it wasn't Bill. As for the rest of the cast, it really was a mixed bag for me. Just earlier this month, I talked about how Charlton Copley made the most of his very minor screen time in Monkey Man. He probably has a little more time overall in this and should in theory have more to work with given he's one of the many adversaries, but his character comes off mildly entertaining at best and feels massively underutilized by the end. Brett Gelman and Michelle Dockery play further characters who I felt dropped the ball in terms of being either menacing, funny, or even entertaining for that matter. On the other hand, Andrew Koji, Famke Janssen, and Jessica Roth are all doing the most they can with the less than ideal material. And that segues into really my biggest issue with the movie, which is its flimsy and convoluted story. Roughly halfway through the movie, it felt like the pacing just came to a sudden halt, and this is followed by twists and revelations that were just so convoluted to the point where it had actually soured a decent amount of the fun I'd been having up to that point. And it also doesn't help that this came with some jarring tonal shifts that I was not resonating with either. Honestly, I found it more laughable than powerful. Having said all that, it might sound like I completely despise this movie, but there are a couple more positives I could say. For the first 50 minutes or so, regardless of story, I thought this was paced pretty great. With this being the feature directorial debut of director Moritz Mohr, the choreography is really well done to the point in the action sequences where you wouldn't even tell that it's a first-time filmmaker. All things considered, I'm going to be giving Boy Kills World a 2.5 out of 5. The joyous absurdity of its first act severely suffers from a convoluted, tonally confused second half that I can't see myself revisiting anytime soon. So those are all of my thoughts on Boy Kills World. To see where it would rank with the rest of the 2024 films I've seen, I have that linked in Letterboxd below, which you can also check out for my opinion on thousands of other movies. And now it's time for y'all to sound off in the comments. Did you like this way more than me, dislike it more, or did you feel something completely different? Whatever it is, it should be a fun discussion down there. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks a ton for making it to the end. I've been Movie Man Mikey, and always remember, enjoy yourself.